with Facebook Live. We're having a tough time this morning. So, what a beautiful morning. And by the end of today, it's going to be completely different in terms of how everything looks. Welcome to Illinois. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. So, yesterday, uh, we're at Business Mastery 2. It's a lot of really amazing, fairly complicated systems in terms of how to evaluate your business. But, all of this stuff really comes down to a lot of basic ideas. And Tony yesterday told one of my favorite metaphors, which I know I've said to you guys, but repetition is the mother of skill. We have this sphere of influence. Imagine that there's a circle and you're a dot in the middle of the circle. And that circle is your sphere of influence. It's the things that you can comfortably handle. And we all have our sphere, and it's all different. Some people can comfortably handle things that other people would really struggle with. If you're a skydiver, jumping out of an airplane is no big deal. If you've never done that, well, then it might be a super big deal, or even something that you feel is impossible. I've done 34 firewalks, so that makes it so doing a firewalk for me, not the still a big deal, but not like the end of the world because I've done it. It's within my sphere of influence. Well, here's what happens is the universe, higher power, whatever you want, life comes along and gives you a problem that is outside of your sphere of influence. And what do most of us do? Well, most of us ignore it. Most of us act like, okay, it's not there, and we ignore it. And when you ignore a problem, what happens? It gets worse. And so then typically not only does that problem grow, but then all of a sudden another one comes that's also outside your sphere of influence. And pretty soon you're in a situation where now you're forced to handle these problems. Well, what happens when you do that? You got to stretch yourself to get out to where that problem is so that you can manage it. So you stretch your abilities, you grow, is what happens. But you don't just grow in that direction, the entire sphere grows because that sphere is all connected. So it's not just that you can now handle that problem, you can handle all kinds of different problems. So when these problems come along, they're there to make us grow. They're there as a gift. The whole point of living is growth. The secret to living is giving, but the secret to happiness is progress. When people are making progress at anything, they're happy, whatever it is. When they stop making progress, that's when all of a sudden they're not happy anymore. It doesn't matter what they have. They can have all the money in the world, but if they're not making progress towards something, if they're not growing, they're not happy. We're either growing or we're dying. And problems are there to make us grow. So when the problem comes along and you look at it and you're like, why am I dealing with this? Well, it's a gift. It's a gift to make us more of who we are supposed to be. And it's something that we need to constantly remind ourselves because, we go along for a period of time where it doesn't feel like we have any problems, and that feels great. And we'd like that to continue forever. But the reality is that's not what's going to happen. The only people without problems are the ones in graveyards. And if you want the most security, as I said earlier this week, go to prison. That's where you get the most security. You don't have to worry about heat. You don't have to worry about electricity. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about health care. It's all provided for you. But you also have no freedom. You have no ability to make decisions. You have no ability to decide what you want to do with your day and with your life. So as we move forward and things happen, which is what's going to happen in life, we can look at them and say, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Or we can ask ourselves a better question. What's the lesson that I need to learn? How do I need to grow in order to solve this problem? And I can look at it as this is a gift to make it so now I can handle other things besides this. Because once you stretch and are able to solve that problem, you feel more alive. You feel proud. You feel more of all of the things that you are supposed to feel in order to be the person that you're supposed to be. So problems are a gift, and they're always going to happen. What do you want? You want a better quality problem. That's what you want. You should focus on high quality problems. I had to pay a lot in taxes. Well, that means that you made a lot of money. I have too many opportunities to decide which one I want to take. Well, that's a quality problem. Oh my God, I can't make this decision. Do I go and see the playoff game tomorrow for the Bucks? Or do I go see a Broadway show? Okay, quality problem that those are your decisions that you have to make. People living in other areas of the world have much more difficult daily tasks to try to deal with and those types of things. So instead of trying to make it so we don't have any problems, make it so that we get better quality of problems. Look for problems, but look for good ones. Look for things that obviously make it that you're doing well with your life in terms of creating your outcomes, because you're still going to have problems, but they're going to be quality ones that you want to deal with. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Mr. Lampy, good to see you this morning. Mr. Drahobel, Liba, thank you so much for being on today. Valerie, thank you so much for being on today. Good morning, everybody. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.